of 30,000 naira. It's very annoying.
All right, gentlemen. Let's move on to some political issues. The immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Mallam Nasir El-Rufai, is a man that is never far from grabbing the headlines for various reasons. After a hiatus following the completion of his 2 terms as a governor, the enigmatic Mallam is at it again. The former governor sparked criticisms and insinuations of jumping ship when he met with the national chairman of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, Shehu Gabam, at the party's secretariat in Abuja. But El-Rufai said he's not planning to dump the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. His spokesman, Muyiwa Adekeye, explained that the meeting was to return a visit to Gabam, who visited El-Rufai for Iftar on the 19th of March. Sikien, where is this speculation coming from?
Well, you know, before now, word out there was that El-Rufai and his longtime friend, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, had parted ways. In fact, some people were speculating that Ribadu was behind the idea of Ribadu being dropped as a minister. He would have been Minister of Petroleum Resources. That was the plan. But things changed and he was dropped after a petition got to the National Assembly, at the time when they were being screened. So it was a massive shock to people in the know of the disagreement between Nuhu Ribadu and El-Rufai to see them together. So that led to all kinds of speculations because both men can't pretend that they had issues. There's no way a Nuhu Ribadu in this season of fasting will say that he didn't have his issues before and after El-Rufai's nomination as minister. You cannot deny that as a Muslim. But somehow, I guess some of their friends reached out to them and against all expectations, we saw the 2 men together. That's the power of friendship. People who had been friends for many years. Politics and hunger for power should not split them. If we allow politics and hunger for power to split them and combust a friendship of several decades, then something is wrong with both of them. Now they came together. Of course, people were shocked and it triggered some insinuations that, El-Rufai is already thinking of 2027. Then Shehu Gabam, the national chairman of SDP, went to El-Rufai's house, visited him, and they had Iftar together. El-Rufai felt the need to reciprocate that visit, to avenge that visit, avenge in inverted commas. But he went to the secretariat of the SDP. Once you go to the secretariat of a political party, it will trigger all kinds of insinuations that maybe he's already looking at the SDP as a platform that he can use to actualize his ambition to be president. But the truth is, El-Rufai never told anyone that he was going to dump the APC. He never told anyone that he was going to contest for the presidency of Nigeria. In fact, he told some of his friends that he didn't want to be minister. That he just felt like going to rest and all that. It's hard to combine this with his academic pursuits abroad. So people are free to speculate about his future, his political future. But what I see that has happened is some people came in and resolved the dispute between him and his longtime friend. Because I've always seen the three of them, the former emir of Kano, Ribadu, and El-Rufai, as very good friends. I couldn't believe it that anything could actually come in between them, to the point that they will now, even their friends, will now, some of their friends will be abusing Ribadu and all that. So, but it looks like they've sorted out their issues. I think it's good for them. And I'm happy that Mallam has said, look, you don't have to see politics in everything. I have no plan to leave the APC. I have no plan to contest. And I also think that it's a tad too early to start talking about 2027. Even the government in power has not been in power for up to a year. We still have some months to go. So, for me, it's just what the speculators have done amounts to making a mountain out of a molehill. Gabam, the SDP man, is my friend. I know that he has friends across political parties. And if your friends can't visit you, then it's terrible. It's terrible. If your friends can't visit you without people thinking that they want to defect to your party, then it's wrong. El-Rufai has no... I think he has no plan to leave the APC for now. At least I want to believe him. I'm not saying he will never leave, but I want to believe that he has no plan to leave for now. People are just speculating needlessly.
So continuing from where BKO stops, so people have said El-Rufai is not even that kind of politician that would start playing hide and seek because he wants to jump ship.
Yes. Let me start from the point that most often than not, I don't believe politicians. I have my reservation.
That's there.
That is there.
You have a point.
Politicians, not the type that we have in Nigeria. Everywhere in the world, not just about politicians, but the type that we have in Nigeria. Look, most of the time, I don't believe them. When they tell you this, you better take your time. Because
they also talked about his visitation to Abduningi's...
No, he visited Abuningi, but the fact remains that El-Rufai is somebody that speaks his mind. There are about 3 or 4 of them within that axis that does that. One is Nasir El-Rufai. The second one is the former emir of Kano, Sanusi. The third one is the one that also BQ have mentioned, Ribadu. And before them, more like an elder brother, is somebody called one Major Omar. In fact, you can add the 5th one to the miss. There's a Kaduna former senator, Sani. I think Sani is his name. Former Sani. I think Sani.
Sani.
Yes, Shehu Sani. Those guys, within those, about 5 of them, at any given point in time, they will tell you where they belong to on issues. They're not minding whose us is God. El-Rufai is one of them. And if you look at the role El-Rufai played during the election, especially when he came to issue of power shifting from the north to the south, he was the arrowhead, if you remember vividly. And he came out boldly, even when his fellow governors were being skeptical and being political about it, he came out straight and said, this team must go to the south. That is the kind of person he is. So, but my little challenge here is that he visited his friend, who is the SDP chairman, in his house. And his friend visited him in his house. But when he wants to revisit, he went to his. So what do you expect? We have a saying in our place that when this thing cry in the night and Pekin die for morning, who go talk say no be the wish. So I don't know, but I believe that El-Rufai as a person is still studying. Because even the speech, there was a point that part of the statement we heard that there was a video that was there and they would say, oh, don't video it. We don't want it. He said he doesn't care. I'm sure you saw that. He said, I don't care whether they show it or not or whatever. But the fact remains that most often than not, I find it difficult when politicians. Of course, after all, El-Rufai was in PDP before. Now, we forget he was in PDP before he came to APC. So anything can happen. But if he comes out to say there is nothing to it, let us take it for his words that it is just a mere visit. But I hope it doesn't go beyond that in the months to come.
But BKO, do you think if El-Rufai decides to leave APC today, is that a journey to political oblivion?
It's difficult to say that. It's not that sort of person who will be jumping from political party to political party. There are some people who do not believe in moving from party to party, and he's a man who speaks his mind all the time. So I believe that if he wanted to leave, he would leave and he will damn the consequences. But what we see clearly is, one, it's too early. If this was a year to election, maybe I won't talk like this, but it's too early. And when you want to take a decision like this, you have to bear everything in mind. It's too early to jump ship. The elections are still far away. If indeed he has an interest in the 2027 election, it's too early now to say it's jumping ship, because you have to wait for certain things to pan out. And he's someone who is very calculating, he's cerebral, he weighs his actions very well before taking them, and he usually does not regret his actions. So I don't think there's any need for some of the analysis that people are making, for some of the speculative write-ups that people are making over a mere visit to Gabam. Anybody, and Gabam even said right there that at this time we should all come together to solve the nation's problems, across party divides. And when you listen to Gabam himself, you will know that this is a patriot, someone who wants the best for his country. He doesn't speak like, oh, I'm not in the ruling party. If the ruling party, if Nigeria will collapse on the head of the ruling party and the rest of us, it doesn't matter. That's not the kind of person that Shehu Gabam is. And I believe that it was just a case. Mallam had not been around for a long time. He was abroad. I believe that this was just a way of linking up with old friends and all that, because no one can deny that Shehu Gabam is his friend. People have friends across political parties, and there's no big deal in linking up with your friend. And they should not forget that it was Gabam that visited him first, and then he returned the visit. So it's just, Muyiwa Adekeye, the spokesman, has explained that, look, this has nothing to do with politics.
All right.
And I believe them.
Let's wait and see. Let's go to Ekiti State, where accolades and applause continue to pour in for